Hi guys, it's Ella here and today we are preparing for an online shop update. This is not what I was expecting to do for the month of April, but unfortunately my longest spring market got cancelled pretty last minute. So I had to pivot and we're doing this. When I got that cancellation email, it was like the middle of March and by that time it was too late to apply for any other spring markets. So yeah, I couldn't really find much else, but I have to start making some sales. So I'm going to list my work online and hope it turns out well. To be honest, it's been a while since I've updated my online shop because I don't really have the audience on my Instagram for my work. I think for me the most important thing right now is to have some products up on the website because I do know that people shop my website when I do markets. So as long as something is up, I know they will eventually sell. But yeah, it's been a while since I've done an update kind of thing, so I'll just walk you through what I have to do to prepare for this. I also want to talk a little bit about selling online versus selling at markets. Let's start preparing for this shop update and chat along the way.
The first thing I need to do is set aside the pieces I need to photograph. Having everything together makes the process a lot smoother instead of having to run back and forth looking for what's ready to go after each photo. I've been making a lot lately because I was preparing for 5 weekends in New York City. I kind of just kept making mostly coasters because I had no coasters to begin with. So some of them are not complete. Like for these, I need to sand the drips in the back or patch up a bubble for some of these. But I set the date for my shop update to be April 30th just in case if anyone wanted anything for Mother's Day. That way it would arrive on time with the shipping and stuff. So I'm just picking out pieces that are ready to go and that I can ship the next day. What doesn't make the shop update this time will be finished for markets, or I can always list them another time as well. I also have some new earrings that needs to be listed. They sold out at my Christmas market, so I am making new pairs to photograph. I got myself these trays to help me organize my earrings and it's been quite helpful compared to having them all in a bunch. Before I would take my already carded earrings from my display to photograph, I undid all of my packaging work, took the photos, then I put them back on the cards. It was pretty time consuming. Everything being on cards, they were all blocking each other too. So on this tray, I could see everything I needed to do. Once I finished all of my pieces and have them together in one place, I need to photograph them. This is the bulk of the work when it comes to online shop updates, I think, the photographing. I don't really have a nice background at home, so I got these surfaces from Replica Surfaces for product photos. They're kind of pricey, but honestly worth it because I have DIY'd with wallpaper, but they got dinged up really quick from moving them back and forth. Right now, I'm kind of setting them up to be like a light box. I much prefer natural lighting, but because I have so many photos to take, I need consistent lighting to make the editing much easier. So I won't be relying on my windows today. I actually ended up taking pictures throughout several days, so finding the right editing settings for each photo will take up a lot of time if some of the photos had more sun or more shade. Along with the background, I am setting up some props. I like to use fake plants because I'm struggling to keep real ones alive. If you've seen my monster next to me, I got it last year and there hasn't been any growth, so if you are a plant mom and have some tips, please do share. Anyways, back to the props. I also like to use this pink cloth that I will look for later and trinket trays for my jewelry. I don't think I have a bad setup, but I don't quite feel like it's me, so this is just a starting point right now. I take the product photos on my phone because I do the editing on my phone. This way I don't have to keep transferring the photos back and forth from the camera to the computer to my phone. I have an actual camera that I am using to film this video right now, and I've tried to use it for product photos. I do feel like the quality is really amazing, but all that transferring back and forth made me procrastinate and eventually I just didn't get any work done, so now I just stick with my phone. I like to set up my phone on a tripod or something stationary to keep my shots consistent. I think what I am using right now is called an overhead tripod or phone mount. It's secured to the side of my table and an arm piece reaches across the top for my top view angle photos. So just to show you a different perspective, this is what I see on my phone and this is what my phone is capturing. I put one piece down in the frame, take the photo, and then switch to the next one.
The product photography is the part I really don't like the most when it comes to selling online because for me, all of my pieces are one of a kind and I use a lot of special effects too. I want to make sure that what you see in the pictures is what you get. So I need to have some kind of organization and storage when I am listing the products, that this set is for this listing, this set is for another listing, and so on. I don't have that system right now, but I gotta figure that out.
Now that I have all of the photos, I list them as I watch my K-dramas from my living living room. I like to work from my living room and I don't like to multitask, but it feels difficult for me to stay still on the computer or honestly just focus on one task at a time. When the photos and videos are uploading to the website, it takes a little bit of time, so my eyes will go back and forth between screens during those times. I don't force myself to focus or stay still until I finish the task anymore because it was such a huge mental drain for me. I would beat myself up when I didn't finish anything, so now I do a bit of this and a bit of that, and things will eventually get done. Back to the listing, I have a short description from previous listings that I will tweak to make it work for whatever I am posting now. It could definitely use some work, but right now I just need to get them up. I don't expect people to just randomly find my website, so anyone shopping there, I kind of assume they've seen more of my work on Instagram or in person at markets. If I list them on Etsy, I definitely do more research and whatnot, but I don't like listing one-of-a-kind pieces there, so right now everything is just going on my Shopify. Once this is complete, my work is live in my shop.
So I've been putting a lot of my focus on markets for the past 3 years now. And if you ask me, that is my preferred method of selling because I love being out there in person. I love meeting all of you and I love being able to share my story with you. And to be honest, I already work from home making everything here. I really could use the time outside and it's very beneficial for my mental health. But whether I'm selling online or at markets, both options are a lot of work, just different work.
Let's talk about some of the work that goes into markets. It's a little bit more manual labor, especially with setting up the booth and taking it down after. I primarily do outdoor events in the city, so we have to travel to the events. Local ones for me are about 20 minutes away, and if I'm going to New York City or Philly, those are about 4 to 5 hours. I go to New York City because I'm from there and my family is there, so I have free housing. As for Philly, I started there because my boyfriend had family there. They moved not long after I started, but I built a customer base there, so I tried to vend in Philly whenever I can. Right now, my biggest market is actually in Philly, which is the Christmas Village in Philadelphia. I am there for a whole month from Thanksgiving to Christmas. I'm hoping that I can find something similar in New York as well. But yeah, those are the two main cities that I am currently vending in and a couple of markets locally. Usually for these city events, we need to transport our things from the car to our spot, which takes some lifting and several trips back and forth. We take about an hour to set up everything. We do our vending hours, which is usually about 8 or 9 hours. They're typically 2 to 3 days, and then at the end of the event, we will take down and pack up. Of course, this work gets repeated for each event, and this is pretty much just a summary of what needs to be done for markets.
I try not to be biased when it comes to comparing the work of selling online and selling in person, but it is very different. It really depends on what you prefer. Like online is a lot more digital work and selling in person is a lot more like manual labor. And I know that kind of sounds bad for the market side, but I personally prefer selling at markets because like I said, I need the time outside and I need all those interactions with people. I think that's like the balance for my life, and so that's why I have been putting a lot of focus on that for the past like 3 to 4 years. But for some people, selling in person doesn't make sense. So it really depends on the kind of work that you want to do. I think both are definitely a lot of work. It's not that one is less work than the other. I hope this video gives you some insight on like what goes on behind the scenes of selling in general. At the end of the day, neither selling online or in person can guarantee you any sales. There's still all the marketing that needs to be done, the product research, or making your products. If it's possible, I would say do both. I think having an online presence is a must nowadays. Even if you were doing markets, a lot of people, from my experience, will shop online afterwards. That is like, in a sense, a marketing avenue for your online shop as well. If you want me to go into more specifics about selling online and in person, let me know any questions you have in the comments and I can put together a more detailed video. That said, my update is live and I'm also slowly adding more new pieces to my website as I go. So if you're interested in checking out my work, my link is in the description and I will see you in my next video.